Even though I said I don't think the Detroit Lions are going to be too noisy at the NFL trade deadline this year, I also told you I still had to talk about it. So if you clicked on this video, first of all, thank you. And that's on you because you knew exactly what you were getting into. It was very distinct. I don't do any sneaky good move stuff. So you know what you're getting into when you click on videos on this channel. But we've got to talk about it, man. And that is the Detroit Lions potentially trading for Jaelen Phillips. And I wanted to get the community's feedback and see what you guys would think about us trading for the fifth-year defensive end out of Miami. Now, this is very intriguing. In 2021, Brad and Dan's first year, Jaelen was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. This was I think this was the second year of the Miami Dolphins plethora of first-round picks. Remember, the Miami Dolphins had 5 first-round picks in 2 years. They wind up getting some first-round picks from trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick, I believe it was. They was able to do something, man. They was finessing, and they wind up getting they had 3 picks in the first round in 1 year, and I think 2 picks in the first round in the second year. And I think this was the second of the 2 when they got 2 picks in this could be the other way around though. Maybe I'm confusing it, but that Jaelen Phillips was drafted by the Miami Dolphins. And here's what got the ball rolling as my mustache hair is tickling my nose, man. I swear I trim it. So here's what got the ball rolling. There was an account, and I say was, I'll show you why I say it was in a second. This dropped yesterday, but we had signed a Kansas City Chiefs defensive end from their practice squad, so that came first. But this is from the account Ricky Scoops. And this was the same account that was put out the information that there was a deal in place for the Green Bay Packers to trade for Micah Parsons. And then a few days later, he wind up getting traded to the Green Bay Packers. Says the Dolphins are actively shopping Jaelen Phillips, a name to watch as the trade deadline approaches. Sounds like Miami is ready to move him. Teams are also calling about Chubb, Waddle, and Achane. Now, I don't want any of those 3 guys at the bottom. Chubb reminds me a lot of Zadarius Smith, that type of older pass rusher, a guy that could fill in. I don't know about Chubb's contracts. I didn't even look because he wasn't up for discussion. But Jaelen is an intriguing prospect because of his youth, his ability, and the fact that he is on the last half of the last year of his deal, his rookie deal. Now, why is this relevant? Why is this Ricky Scoops information relevant? Why am I bringing this up? Again, this is the same guy that put that out there when nobody believed it, that the Green Bay Packers had a deal in place for Micah Parsons, all right? Now, the rumor, I don't know if this is true, so this is all speculation, that the rumor is that this is an actual NFL insider or somebody that is part of an NFL organization or NFL insider that is masquerading, that this is their troll account. But check this out. So that's the rumor. This is, thankfully, I was able to retweet this, because if I wouldn't have retweeted it, I wouldn't have had this connection. I put the eyeballs, the Ricky Scoops. Peep this out. This post is from an account that no longer exists. And if you click here, it is not there anymore. Go to learn more, and it takes you to that there. But the account is no longer there. It's not there anymore. Now, according to some other information that I was able to gather as well, that this individual put out that some other moves could be made. He made a tweet earlier in the day, but that I didn't see that one. That one didn't involve the Detroit or anything I would be interested in, so I didn't retweet it. So I don't have that information. But the fact that he deleted his account after this makes me believe that he was an NFL insider, is an NFL insider. Somebody connected. Maybe somebody got some wind of it. Maybe he wasn't. He jumped the gun and he put something out. But there's something definitely going on with this individual. And that's the word on the street, that the Miami Dolphins are looking to move. They're actively trying to move Jaelen Phillips, and they are potentially looking to move both Waddle, Chubb, and Achane. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal, because the Miami Dolphins are having a fire sale. Mike McDaniel will be will be fired. All of that's happening sooner than later, right? And with the loss of Tyreek Hill, Tua throwing his people under the bus, it's done. I think he's lost the locker room. The cool, suave, hip, cool, wannabe, let me be your uncle coach ain't gonna work. Can't have your friends as your coach, man. That was doomed from the start. So that's going to be over very soon. The Miami Dolphins could possibly get into a situation where they are having a fire sale, and I think that is coming. So Jaelen Phillips. Now, let me show you about this guy. Big cost for there is a high, depending on what the capital would be, it could also be high risk, high reward. It could be, I don't think it's low risk, high reward. It could be medium risk, high reward. You know what I'm saying? It could also be high risk, low reward, because this guy has an injury history. But I'll show you what I mean, and then I'll give you my thoughts. This dude is 6'5", 263, 26 years old, out of Miami, first round pick in 2021, 18th overall. Now, I remember I didn't think he was going to go that high. So this is when we took Penei Sewell. So he went 11 picks after Penei Sewell. This season only has 1 sack. He only has 1 sack. But he has something that Brad enjoyed. He loves this. Injury history. He does. Played all 17 games his rookie season, his sophomore season. Had 8.5 sacks, 7, respectively. In 2023, he wound up having a season-ending injury after 8 games, had 6.5 sacks after 8 games. In 2024, played 4 games, had a season-ending injury, was out for, so back-to-back season-ending injuries. I remember watching this season-ending injury on Hard Knocks. It was devastating. And in 2025, has played 6 games. So he's played all the games that the Miami Dolphins have played and only has 1 sack. He has 17 total tackles and 10 of them are solo. So again, Jaelen Phillips would be a very risky proposition, especially for the capital that the Miami Dolphins might be requiring and the fact that he is going to be a free agent at the end of the season. Now, the Detroit Lions have something called a franchise tag that they could use on a guy like Jaelen Phillips. It is something we do not use. We've never used it under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, or Sheila for that matter. The last time, put in the comments below, when was the last time the Detroit Lions used a franchise tag? Bit of a trivia question. When was the last time the Detroit Lions used a franchise tag? Give you a few more seconds. Ezekiel Ansah, back in the mid-2010s, we used the franchise tag on him. It was only a few people franchise tagged this offseason, right? It's not something that most teams use, but it is a way for you to keep a player if you want to keep them a bit longer. You pay them a lot of money, but you keep them a bit longer. And with the fact that we're going to be negative $21 million at this point for next season, I don't see that happening. I also don't see Jaelen Phillips being on this team after next or this season. So he's not going to be on this team for long term because we still have not paid Brian Branch. We're talking about, I'm sorry, not Brian Branch. We got to pay him as well. But Aiden Hutchinson, then you're going to have Jameson Williams is done. So you're going to have Branch, Laporta, Gibbs, and Hutch all kind of at the same time. So this would be one of those Super Bowl push moves, right? So that's the thing about Jaelen, that he's come off 2 season-ending injuries. Now, on the plus side to that, DJ Reader had 2 season-ending injuries in 3 years. We signed him. He's been healthy. Then we signed Tim Patrick, 2 season-ending injuries back-to-back. We signed him, finished the year, wind up being worth a trade, has some trade value, right? And if he was here, he would have been playing for our team still. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad. And if anyone fits what the Detroit Lions are trying to do, injury-wise, it would be Jaelen Phillips. So how much would we have to pay Jaelen Phillips, though? What is his contract situation looking like? Let's take a look at what he will be earning for 2025 and kind of ballpark what we would have to pay. In 2025, Phillips will earn a base salary, because he's on the last year of his deal, No Pro Bowls. I don't think anything like that. So he had like the standard 5th-year contract for an 18th overall pick. $13.2 million and a workout bonus of $8,000 while carrying a cap hit of 13 and a dead cap value of 13 as well. And of course, you can see he spent the last 2 years injured, and then they picked up, even with the injuries, the dude is so good, they picked up his 5th-year option. He could have been on a different team this year with a different contract. And of course, next season, he is a free agent. So would you take a 9-game rental on Jaelen Phillips, and what would you give up for him? I would. You have the dude is he's a beast. He really is. And he missed a sack on the game that they played. He missed a sack last weekend that could have sealed the game for the Dolphins and kept the team they were playing out of field goal range. Could have done it, but he didn't. He wasn't able to bring him down. It was Justin Herbert. Couldn't bring down Justin. He was able to get a pass off, and the running back, was able to put up a bunch of yards to get him in to position for their kicker to kick a field goal and win the game. So I would do it. And to be honest with you, he would be pretty high on the list. But answer me this. Who would you rather take? Would you rather take Trey Hendrickson on the same type of deal or Jaelen Phillips? I think this is kind of intriguing, man, because when it comes to Trey is 5 years older, right? He does have that history with Dan Campbell. He's 5 years older. He's coming off of, he's actually going to miss the game tonight against the Pittsburgh Steelers because of a back injury he sustained in week 6. So there's no telling how long he's going to be out. The Bengals may or may not trade him. Because they're a dumb organization, so they may keep him hostage, and then that'll come and go. So he may not even be available. And you've got names like Kayvon Thibodeau, Azeez Ojulari. Those names are coming up, and some lower names as well. But what would you take Trey or would you take Jaelen, knowing that they're both probably going to walk at the end of the year? That's a tough one. I don't know, man. I think for me, I think Jaelen wouldn't be a bad pick. He wouldn't be bad. Plus, you have the team that you're dealing with. You got a fire sale team versus a team that just is stubborn and they don't know how to do business. They just don't. They don't know how to take care of their own players, let alone make trade. And the Cincinnati Bengals have only done a few trades mid-season. So the likelihood of Trey getting traded is slim, even though it would be really smart for the Cincinnati Bengals to do it. You have no obligation to him next year. He has no obligation to you. You could literally get something for him because you know teams are blowing up their phone, but you're dumb enough. This is the same team that took forever to pay Jamar, took forever to pay T, that knows their defense sucks and they do everything but fix it. So this is a dumb organization. So they probably will remain dumb and not even move Trey. So here is what NFLDraftBuzz.com says that the Lions picks for the NFL draft would be. I know we don't have a third pick because we gave it up for Isaac Tesla. So according to this, I don't know if this is 100% accurate. We've got a 7-round pick. We have 2 6, we have a 5th, we have a 4th, and a 2nd-round pick. Now, I did talk to Miami Dolphins guys, and I said, realistically, what would you look for when it comes to Jaelen and compensation? They said a 3rd-round pick. We don't have a 3rd-round pick. So what would you be willing to, and these ads are ridiculous, man. What would you be willing to give up for Jaelen Phillips, knowing that he's most likely going to walk at the end of this season and that you're not going to get anything for him? Because I don't think you can get you might be able to get a comp pick for 2027. That might be a possibility. I believe you can. If you trade it for a guy and he walks and signs a massive deal, you could get. So that could be something that we can look into as well. But for me, I don't know, man. We gave up a 6 for Zadarius Smith. Miami's probably going to want that 4th. They're probably going to want that 4th. Would you give up a 4th-round pick? And these ads are crazy, man. Would you give up a 4th-round pick for a guy that's going to be a 9-game rental? Or would you give up, you know what I would do? You know what I would try to do to Miami? I say, listen, that fourth is kind of high. That fourth is high. I'll give you the 2-6. I give you 2-6. You give me Phillips and something. You give me Phillips and something, or we try to finesse it another way. Now, if he was under contract for not like another year, let's say he was in year 4 and they already picked up his 5th-year option, he has year 5, we would eat that. We would get a stellar pass rusher. Same, a little bit older than Aiden, 1 year older than Aiden. Both kind of the same prototypical size. And you're talking about bookend, well, there's no more Marcus Davenport because he's gone out. He better be gone after this year. There's no more DJ Reader, right, after this year, unless he gets another contract, which I don't think DJ Reader is going to be re-signed either. I think the D-line is going to look completely different. It's going to be Aleem, Tyleek, Hutch, and someone else. I don't even think it's going to be AQM. So if I'm Brad, I try to say, listen, I can work with these 2-6s. Can we work with these 2-6s? Can we work? Because you're going to be in a rebuild year, right? Now, the crazy thing is that Miami could clean house. McDaniel's going to be gone. Who knows if their GM is going to be gone? And then the new coach has to deal with this trade that was made. So that's something else. But at the same time, I'm sure the new staff, the guy's going to be a free agent anyway. And anytime somebody's going to be a free agent and you could benefit from them and get something for them, which is what I'm saying, why Miami would be, or Cincinnati would be dumb not to do this, then you got to do it. You got to do it. That's a smart move. That's a smart move, man. Because so I'll say this. That fourth, think about this. We traded 2/3 for Isaac Tesla, who we know what he can do, but he's just not been much of a factor through the first 6 games. But he's going to be around for a long time. Knowing that we could get a compensatory pick for if Jaelen Phillips walks, he's going to sign a deal worth a substantial deal. We're probably going to get a comp pick right around what we give up. It won't be for 2026, but it'll be for 27, most likely, right? Maybe we part with the 4th. Man. Maybe we give them the 4th and they give us Phillips and a 6 or something like that. I don't think it's anybody we can throw in to sweeten the pot. Maybe, or maybe we do a 4th and Josh Pascal. I mean, he's hurt, so I don't think you can trade him or whatever. And then, or something like that. Maybe we do a 2-6 and somebody else. We really don't have, in my opinion, anybody outside of our core players, and core as in people who are active right now, that has any significant trade value to them. However, Brad was able to get a 6th-round pick. Wait a minute. Do we have 2 6th-round picks? No, we do. Okay, so we got the one from Jacksonville. So Brad was able to get a 6th-round pick for Tim Patrick, a receiver that's what? Almost 30 or a little over 30. So he might be able to pull this off. So that's my take. You could put in the comments below, who would you like to see? I know a lot of folks think that we're going to trade for a cornerback, but I'm like, what Brad is doing, filling the cornerback position with practice squad people, maybe he's not as pressed, but we know how you feel about the DN, but maybe he's not as pressed. But if you have a chance to get Jaelen Phillips for a reasonable deal to make a Super Bowl run, you got to do it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You can be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Speaking of support, man, support the cause. The shirt sales are disappointing. I'm pretty disappointed, man. I try to do a good thing. And of course, I understand it's only so many shirts you can buy, so many things you can buy. I understand, but it's our first year in the charity forte. So, we'll think of some things, but I appreciate everybody that's made a purchase and consider getting you this a shirt like this helps, cancercares.org. We're going to give 20% of the proceeds to them, and they will be available for another 2 weeks. So consider making a purchase of any of the 3 items below. The hoodie is very comfortable. The shirt is very comfortable. And me and my hats, man. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.